And away we go. It's always 9:05. Is that right, Bloom? What's
It's
that say
always
about us?
9:05. There's a shtick thing with Fish where at the end of the first set they always say we'll be back in 15 minutes. I don't know if they do that anymore. It was usually a lot more than 15 minutes.
Okay, all right. Is this like our 4:20?
We're gonna start at
9:05
10
is our
o'clock.
4:20.
It's really 10:05. Yeah.
Right, right. Hey,
We'll see you at
everybody.
10:05
We'll see
Central.
you at 9 ish something. You're the reason I got out of bed. All right. The Broncos the reason I'll be avoiding bed. Anyway, let's go. Oh wait, we're going. So I got to hit this.
You got a team, here's a word to the wise. You want to dominate your league? Go to football, guys.
Football, I'm living in a fantasy. Football, got everybody mad at me. Football, cause every game I had to win. Football, I gotta be a champion. Football, I'm living in a fantasy.
It is part 2 of the week 6 preview here on the Audible. Cecil, Lammey, Sigmund, Bloom talking Saints and Houston. And Bloom, this one is very interesting. Carr's out there practicing. We'll discuss all that. We'll get into the situation here with his wide receivers as well. How much can you trust Alvin Kamara? But it's Houston's ability to fight back that does make this game more interesting than when we first look at the schedule. We're here in week 6, and Saints Texans might actually be pretty good.
Yeah, Cease. This is another one of those. Are you a contender? Are you going to be a contender? Like we said, 8, 9, I don't know. Detroit's one of them, good teams, and 14 teams will make the playoffs. So this is a chance for both of these teams, especially being in the South on either side of the NFL. You have a chance to win your division. New Orleans, well, you've got Derek Carr getting healthier. Didn't really have to do much in the downfield passing last week because they blew out New England. Maybe a little bit more. Again, the Texans, we thought a defense we're going to target, not so fast. They've actually been a pretty good defense, although they let Desmond Ridder rally last week. So maybe Derek Carr will be okay. We know he's going to steadily throw to Michael Thomas. We're going to watch Chris Olave and his ankle that he tweaked in warmup. Still scored a touchdown last week. Don't really know if it was affecting him. Again, because the Saints didn't have to throw downfield. You're going to probably play Olave anyway. Rashid Shaheed, the perpetual what the heck flex with his big play ability. And then Alvin Kamara. You have to be really happy with what you have with him, although we're watching Kendre Miller to evaluate, in leagues where you can't carry every backup running back. Is he one of the ones worth carrying as an injury upside backup? And if he keeps making plays in the passing game like he did last week, maybe even a what the heck flex. And yes, you're right. All the Texans games, we looked at the Texans schedule and we would have said, okay, well, they're going to start making their way like the little train that could. I think I can. But they're already there as an interesting team to watch. And I feel like we're still, and I say we, I mean the collective football community, still not talking about CJ Stroud enough.
I know, exactly. Should be exciting. Super quick, Bloom, because I just remembered I'm awful on Twitter, and I apologize. I try to get to as many as I can. You know what I'm having fun with is YouTube comments. Usually YouTube comments, they can be very unkind, but we have such a great audience, and we always tell them like, comment, share, subscribe. Like going back through our shows and commenting, like there's some fun comments in there. But I did get a question on Twitter. It was like, I got Rashid Shaheed. We do count return yards points.
Oh,
but I can get Marvin Mims. And I was like, let's wait, hold, stay on target. Like, let's let everyone get traded on Friday before you start making moves. Anyway, CJ Stroud in that situation now, it's robust. It's fun. I don't think Tank Dell's going to play, Bloom.
No.
We know about that. Not out of the concussion protocol yet. I don't believe he practiced yesterday. Again, my mind is hazy before I get enough of this stuff, the caffeine in me. But anyway, I don't need caffeine. You know what'll inject energy into the life of your fantasy team? Houston's offense. Yeah. Houston's offense.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Last week, again, against Atlanta, not exactly a defense that we cower from when it's time to set our lineups. CJ Stroud has his first down week of the season. Now, Nico Collins was covered by A.J. Terrell. This week, Nico Collins probably covered by Marshawn Lattimore. I'm not saying to bench Nico Collins, although if you have some close calls, probably bench Nico Collins. Tank Dell would have been the next option. He's likely out with a concussion. So John Mechie beat cancer last year. Maybe he plays a bigger role. Old Bobby Trees, Robert Woods. You don't expect Damian Pierce to get going. You may not have a better option at running back 2 or flex anyway. He still has a high ceiling. But you think this, with the Saints defense, is going to be a floor game with no Tank Dell, with Nico Collins facing someone. Hey, this is Nico Collins. For fantasy, we've had breakout games, but also you're a number 1 receiver. You are going to face some number 1 corners. We're going to watch how that plays out. So maybe it's Dalton Schultz. I think that's who we're looking at here as somebody that CJ Stroud can count on. And we're also not looking at CJ Stroud as a preferred streamer. We're not seeing him as a DFS play. We're not seeing him as a preferred quarterback 2 super flex, even though you're probably going to play him. So not exactly a fantasy bonanza for the Texans, but by the same token, if they do have a good offensive day with all these things going against them against the Saints, then we'll take them even more seriously.
All right. And we'll continue to get data points here in the second quarter of the National Football League season. You know it's bad. And I put this on our Football Guys newsletter. Sign up for it for free, footballguys.com. When Bill Belichick had to say Mac Jones is the starter.
Yep.
He's our starter, everyone. But he started all year. Yeah, you have to say it because it hasn't been good. But Bailey Zappi didn't do himself any favors when he did get in there last week and stunk up the joint. So it's Patriots and it's Raiders. Where's our pot stoner degenerate Jason, the big Raiders fan, but up in Greeley with his purple Kush and Mountain Dew slushy. Anyway, he lives right around the corner from 7-Eleven. So if I had a 7-Eleven around the corner for me, baby, I'd be.
Oh yeah.
It'd be not Frosties. It'd be Slurpees all day. Slurpees all day.
Make up your own flavors.
Exactly. Yeah. Then, let's make up some interesting conversation about this game because it's not real fun. Patriots side first, Bloom.
Yes, here's the most interesting. Well, interesting. I don't know if it's interesting. Here's the picture I have of this game. Right. It's like, I like to think of like boxing, the pre-fight press conference when they always almost get in a fight. They start trash talking each other and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. If there was something like that where it's like Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels, they'd both look at each other and say, "You miss me yet?" Because they're both miserable, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, Josh McDaniels is just proving it wasn't Denver. He's not like his old boss. He's not going to learn from his mistakes. He's not going to be a smashing success in his second job. And the Patriots offense is still a problem. And at some point, and this is where self-scouting really falls apart, Bill Belichick, I mean, wasn't it obvious when he made Joe Judge and Matt Patricia offensive coordinators? Well, not officially because he didn't want them to have to lose some money, that he shouldn't be making any decisions on the offensive side of the ball. He just shouldn't be. I mean, that's malpractice. Yes, they have Bill O'Brien. It's just a miserable offense. What can we say about it for fantasy? Maybe Ramondre Stevenson bounces back. This Raiders defense is underrated in so much as we think of it as one of the worst defenses in the league. It's probably not. Any defense with Max Crosby probably isn't one of the worst defenses in the league. Maybe you throw in Hunter Henry, a wing and a prayer, but he's fallen off. Robert Kraft is upset, Cecil. That's what Jeff Howe's reporting. Robert Kraft is upset. Okay, well, maybe he can get his Super Bowl ring back from Vladimir Putin. Look it up.
All you need to do is get his green screen and, his 20-year-old girlfriend or whatever, and just do another dance video, baby. Dance video, you perverts. Anyway, Robert Kraft's upset. Dude, come on. Don't force Mac Jones on your coach.
No.
Didn't we spend most of yesterday's show talking about Dave Tepper being an aloha? Hey, Robert Kraft. Might want to think about that. Yeah. Raiders side of things. Jimmy Garoppolo out there. I would prefer, and it's week 6, so maybe not yet, but just the Aiden O'Connell stuff's that's already been broken. To keep go.
Why not? Yeah.
Let the kid play. There might be something there. I really like him. But whatever. Let's talk about the Raiders.
Oh, yes, Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo going from San Francisco to Las Vegas in terms of offenses. See, that's like going from, Boardwalk down to Mediterranean Avenue. It's not great. How different his career would have been if he had just hit that pass to Emmanuel Sanders. Anyway, Josh Jacobs, yeah, you play him. Jacoby Myers. Again, now here's one where it's not both ways because Jacoby Myers is like, no, I don't miss you. I'm a key part of this offense. I'm making my money. I'm earning it. But New England misses Jacoby Myers. Don't miss him when you're setting your lineup. And Davante Adams, maybe he's a little banged up. New England's going to try to take him away. You're still going to play him. Didn't really have a great week last week against Green Bay. New England missing their best corner, Christian Gonzalez. So maybe Adams is healthier. Maybe Adams is better. And I'm sure there are better games to watch in the afternoon slot.
Yeah, I'm sure there are. And we got a little, you like the lemon twist, Bloom? With the lemon twist yesterday that we got, and especially had to be after the waiver wire show, but we talked about Keontae Ingram, right? And and I love Keontae Ingram. I love him. And he's got a neck injury, which I don't love. Neck injuries and careers. I don't want to be a doomsayer, but like ask Sterling Sharp or Eric Dickerson or Smoke Dog Al Wilson. Smoking fools every day. Anyway, Arizona said Keontae Ingram's their starter. Was Andy in the chat room? Who in the chat room scooped him up? Right?
The Nelsons, Andy and Renee Nelson.
Andy and Renee, and they scooped him up. They got him. So
for free.
There you go.
Yeah,
exactly. So you thought one thing, and the Cardinal was like, no. Keontae Ingram is the guy. So okay, I'm gonna go do it. It's against the Rams, though. Cardinals and Rams. Probably not going to be able to pound the ball very much when the Rams are up on you by 24. So let's put a pin in it. Let's be exciting. What the heck flex for me, for my heart, Bloom, is Keontae Ingram.
Sure.
So let's be excited, but not go overboard.
Yeah. Amari DiMercato is still a healthier back coming into the week. He's the one everyone spent more money on. And like you said, Cecil, this is one of those things where we have to, urgency dictates that we put our waiver material out. I put it out Monday afternoon, update it for Tuesday morning. We do our waiver wire show. And last week, Keontae Ingram could not play. They called up Darrell Williams. This week, he did get in a couple limited practices. But like you said, Cecil, it's a neck issue. So that being said, like the Nelsons said, somebody spent 80 units on DiMercato and they picked up Ingram for free. Well, of course, that's a good move. If they're even roughly the same price, I think it's the same proposition. That being said, doesn't this really spell out probably nothing of interest for fantasy, just desperation plays? Joshua Dobbs, a lot of the good vibes around him are wearing off, including for fantasy. Quarterback 2 super flex play, sure. You are going to play Hollywood Brown, not 100% healthy. Zach Ertz, a desperation play. You have Rondale Moore and Michael Wilson trading off weeks where they look like they might do something for our fantasy teams. This isn't as bad of an offense as we thought whenever they were starting a quarterback in week 1 who was still learning the names of his teammates. Now, you're actually the trainer. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I'm not going to be throwing the ball to you on Sunday. Now it's, a bottom half of the league offense. On the other hand, he's facing an offense that is working its way up to the top half because now their cup is full.
Their cup is full, and it's the Rams side. And do you get the feeling that Tyler Higbee will be like Dallas Goedert? We haven't got any clues about that because they just flat out told us Dallas Goedert, like, Ray, we're going to use him more. And then they used him more. And then with Higbee, it's like, well, I wish they would say that. Then I wish they would do it, right? The T, Bloom. Thoughts, emotions, and actions. The action of Tyler Higbee hadn't been there, but you love it with Puka Nacua. You love it with Cooper Kupp. Let's talk about the backfield for the Rams. Matthew Stafford slinging it this week at home against the Cardinals.
Yeah, Higbee, he doesn't care because he got paid. Remember that. It's not that big of a story, but he got paid. It's the Kupp and Nacua show, and nobody's going to ask us, can you still start Puka Nacua with Cooper Kupp? Matthew Stafford coming on, still hasn't had that breakthrough game for fantasy yet. Maybe this could be one because Joe Burrow had his breakthrough game for 2023 last week against this Arizona defense. It was a game side that was giving the opponent some troubles, including Dak Prescott. But now maybe this turns into an defense we can pick on with the opposing offense. And then there's Kyren Williams. I think your glass half full, cup half full take here is Kyren Williams is not as essential to this offense now, but maybe Cooper Kupp helps them get more touchdown opportunities. Maybe they have more scoring drives. Glass half empty is just, he's going to get 15, 18 touches. You better hope he scores a touchdown because he's not the kind of player who can add value to his touches. He's going to harvest the value that's there. It's not really a great running game, but it's a functional running game with him, and they're not using him as much as a receiver out of the backfield, especially now with Kupp. But you have the Rams here, and again, rebuilding. What rebuilding? This team with a veteran quarterback and Aaron Donald, they're hanging around. Again, there's some playoff spots up for grabs. The Rams can win a game like this at home. It will strengthen their case.
It will strengthen their case. And we continue on here on the Audible Week 6 preview part 2. It's Philadelphia Eagles. It's New York Jets. And okay, Eagles, this one is going to provide some challenges. We know the Jets defense isn't just going to lay down for you, but their offense isn't going to do a whole lot. So how much can Philadelphia score to win? They will win, Bloom. But where's your confidence level at with all your Eagles this week facing the Jets just down the road?
Yeah, not that high, really. I say not that high, Cease, because
it's gonna be a weird one, dude.
It's the Jets. It's the Jets, man, and the Jets are a team. The Robert Saleh Jets. You never truly have them checkmated because of their defense and because of how much fight this team has. Now we've seen Jalen Hurts. Ian Harditz and I talked about this on the couch. The Eagles have actually been horrendous at red zone efficiency. So there's a lot of room for this offense to grow for fantasy. Probably not this week against the Jets. You're going to play Jalen Hurts, but this is a tough defense. It wouldn't be surprising if this is an ugly, low-scoring game. Maybe with more DeAndre Swift. Maybe that's one of the ways that you just grind out some long drives and you don't necessarily leave Jalen Hurts back there to take any hits or to make any mistakes as a passer. I think they can play this one pretty conservative and still win because, well, you're facing Zach Wilson. A.J. Brown probably covered with sauce. So is this a Devontae Smith breakout game, or is it just difficult for the Eagles to do what they want on offense? Similarly, Dallas Goedert got to be back in your lineup. Maybe that's the answer, Dallas Goedert. But whatever it is, it's not going to come easy because you're facing the Jets defense. And whatever it is for the Jets, somebody had the image, Cease. Who is it? Thanos? Is that the big guy from the comic book movies? Robert Saleh.
Yes.
We lost a soul. We got a win, right? Every time we get a win, we lose a soul, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's Elijah Vera Tucker. So here's a problem. You're facing the Eagles defensive line, and you just lost your best offensive lineman.
Don't make me break out my Iron Man 55. That's the first appearance of Thanos.
Wow. And if you were to rank your most coveted comics, is it in the top 10?
Oh, yes, because I've always loved Thanos. Infinity Gauntlet came out in the 90s, Bloom, and I'm stuck in the 90s. So, when the movies didn't follow the story exactly. But
you need a patent stuck in the 90s as a podcast title. Like, make sure no one can get
I've got $1 million idea that I'm going to get to after we talk about the Jets. Okay. So let's get through the Jets side. That's Zach Wilson, what are they going to do? Breece Hall, they're not going to be able to run all day. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, you had the big game. You had your window with Hall. It's a little smaller window, obviously. It's not going to go 2 bills or whatever, but you still start him. You lower the expectations, what have you. And this will come down to a Zach Wilson mistake.
Right.
They'll rally, they'll play tough, and then Zach Wilson will fumble or throw a pick, and then, feel bad, and then the Jets will lose. But from a fantasy perspective, where are you at?
Yeah. Darius Slay, right? He's maybe instead of what the heck flex. Join us for part 2 of the preview with our ever popular $1 million idea of the week. And we give our $1 million ideas and y'all will just take them and run with them. This is tough with Zach Wilson. And if you're a Jets fan, I guess maybe you hope that it's so bad, not necessarily Zach Wilson's fault, again, because it's not just losing Elijah Vera Tucker. It's that now, okay, are you going to reshuffle your line? How are you going to do this? So you might be inadvertently hurting your line just trying to hold it together by putting guys in new positions. We'll see. But Philadelphia and their defensive line are going to take advantage of this. So, Breece Hall, 30 carries, 35 carries, 40 carries. How many carries for Breece Hall? Because at least as long as he doesn't fumble, that nothing disastrous is going to happen. Garrett Wilson stays in your lineup. It only takes one play. So, sure, Garrett Wilson stays in your lineup. Maybe the answer is Tyler Conklin. He's had a couple of good games in a row. Maybe that's the guy that they go with. But it's the Jets, Cease. Even when they win a game, you can't celebrate because it's the Jets.
Yeah. So hold on there. Hold on, everybody. It is the Audible. It's our Week 6 preview part 2 here. And we love the chat room. Chat room's fired up today. So come on out to the live show. If you're listening to us on the audio version, first off, thank you. Doing it for 18 seasons. But you come out for the audience participation of this show. And look at this, Bloom. Look at this. Look at this. Puff, pass, kick.
Oh, someone did
Never
it,
catch you guys live. Love the Audible. The Disco Volante brought me here. If you're ever going to reference Mr. Bungle's second album, which was like the first album was fantastic and revolutionary in the music industry, the second album was even weirder than the first, with songs like Desert Search for Techno Allah, Everyone I Went to High School With Is Dead, let's see, Platypus, my favorite, Merry Go Bye Bye. Like, but if you're going to reference Disco Volante, you have a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
So then that got me to thinking, Bloom. I was like, puff, pass, kick. All right. Get you up to here to Colorado, baby. You bring up that New Orleans. What's the gas station chicken you're talking about?
Brothers.
Yeah. So you're going to franchise those. You're going to start in Colorado, okay? And here's what we're going to do. Because we know the stoners in Colorado love playing Frisbee golf, right? Disc golf.
Yeah, disc golf,
No. We are going to start a puff, pass, kick league.
Yes.
Where you got to smoke them up.
Right.
And then you go out there and it's like fun stoner games. Only in Colorado. That's what we do. We call it puff, pass, kick. This is revolutionary right here.
Yeah. Well, I think absolutely there's an opening there, Cease, for some sort of Olympics. But how are you going to make sure everyone shows up?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah. I got some ideas. That's for sure.
That's your $1 million idea, is how to get stoners to show up for things.
Yeah, I don't know. That's for sure. Who else? Adventure Game Hotspot. He says, why is Cecil so angry all the time? Actually, part of that statement is untrue. I'll let you figure out which one is untrue. But I mean, I think, I'll shout out Andrew Mason, my other work husband, Bloom. Sorry, I'm cheating on you. But on Orange Blue today, he's like, why do you always say light and sweet, baby? And I said, because I'm an angry person. Like, so if I don't say light and sweet, then I will lose my
heavy and bitter
mind. Right. Exactly. So anyway, we are here for you. Appreciate you all. And appreciate the shout outs here. Here we go into the second half. We got 3 more games left. Plus, what the heck flex? You're all waiting for that. Bloom at your Lions. I feel like I'm at the Buck and Shoots, and you're sitting there. You got your bull rope on. You're nutted up against it. Sorry, Joe. Right? Because you have to. You got to sit on your taint. Basically, when I was taught to ride bulls, it's like, okay, keep your weight in the middle. Keep your weight on your taint. Put that hand up, nod your head, and I'm going to give you 8 seconds to ride this 2,000 pounds of nasty. That's how I feel when I'm going to let you out talking about the Lions. I just open this gate. I just swing it open and let you go, baby. I might run around with a clown makeup on, and like try to distract the bull or whatever. But like, it's your time to shine, baby, because we're talking about your Lions going up against the Buccaneers on the road this week. What you got?
It's really Ben Johnson's time to shine. I mean, that's what's fun about watching the Lions. Every week you're going to see something new. Every week, right? And it's almost like the degree of difficulty, they embrace it. Oh, no, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Oh, that's no problem. Well, let's show you some of this stuff that we have. Like probably have Ben Johnson probably has different playbooks depending on who he's missing. Oh, okay. Well, now that's great. Now we get to dust off these plays. We get to do the throwback touchdown to Sam Laporta, right? So yeah, you're liking this Tampa Bay Todd Bowles, the challenge coming off of the bye, and Amon-Ra St. Brown is likely going to be back. And the Lions are a good team. We'll see how they wear that. I think Dan Campbell's going to have them prepared. Yes, Dave Montgomery was going to have some tough sledding in this game, but it could easily be one of those 20 carries for 60 yards and 2 or 3 touchdowns kind of game. I don't think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to play. He didn't practice to start the week. I don't see any reason to risk him. So Craig Reynolds, a desperation play. What the heck, flex. Josh Reynolds, even with Amon-Ra St. Brown, needs to be in the way he's converting because it's Tampa. So the soft underbelly of this defense is the secondary, and this is secondary with downfield passing. And of course, there's Amon-Ra St. Brown and Sam Laporta. Sam Laporta. That if we're
Damn.
like whatever gap there is between how much we should be talking about CJ Stroud and how much we are, Sam Laporta, that's like 10 times bigger.
Right.
I mean, this is a guy that, and part of the credit for Sam Laporta absolutely goes to, well, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell for drafting him ahead of Michael Mayer, and goes for Ben Johnson and setting him up for this great success and everybody who was smart enough to draft him. So this is fun. This is a fun offense. Now we'll watch some things here. You know, you take them out of the dome, you take them down to Tampa. Maybe does that change things? We'll see, but I don't think so. I think that they're here for real. And Baker's trying to say, I'm for real. We can win this division.
No, that's what I was going to transition with is like, okay, Baker's on the other side being like, I could do that too.
Yeah.
No, he can't, but he's going to try, you know what I mean? And he's got the tools around him in the passing game. So what's that look like? What's that effort from Baker look like when they might have to play catch up with the Lions who could, you know, drop 30 on him?
Right. And I don't think it's going to be great. I mean, Baker Mayfield certainly is better than we expect him to be piloting this offense. Mike Evans, it sounds like we're recording this Thursday morning that he's going to test it on Friday. And Mike Evans is the kind of player that whatever the medical staff says, whatever your guidelines are, if Mike Evans says, yeah, I can play, you're probably going to let him play. Now, is that going to be something where it's going to be a lingering issue? Could even ruin part of a season? Maybe. But it sounds like if Mike Evans is playing, you probably have to play him and just hope he doesn't have a re-injury. Obviously, that would improve Baker Mayfield as a quarterback to Superflex, take a little bit of shine off of Chris Godwin. But I think you're liking Chris Godwin this week no matter what. And then, well, who else steps up potentially? Devin Tompkins, Trey Palmer, the speedster, Cade Otton. Rachaad White, maybe Rachaad White more out of the backfield. We know he's probably not going to get much done as a runner. Maybe this is a game again, Cease, to play the Detroit defense. Yes, the Detroit defense, everybody, is now a fantasy football factor. But at the same time, Baker Mayfield, Dave Canales, let's talk about him, the offensive coordinator coming up through Seattle down to Tampa Bay. You've got 2 weeks to prepare for this game. This is a big game. I mean, this division, absolutely Tampa is a contender in this division. And this is the kind of game, because, you know, Detroit is a good team, Cease, that can prove that they deserve to be.
They deserve it. Go down there and prove it. And then Sunday Night Football. Oh, boy. Okay, so pretty sure Daniel Jones is going to play. Kind of sure Saquon Barkley is going to play. Pretty much certain Wan'Dale Robinson isn't going to play. Like, I love him. He's just hurt forever. So it's like, whatever. It's Giants and it's Buffalo. If there ever was a time to drop the please hammer, don't hurt him. Like, yeah, this one would be it. It's in Buffalo, whatever. But the Giants, I don't know how they'll find much of any success outside of maybe garbage time. I don't know. I'm grasping here, Bloom.
Right. That's what you're looking for. Last week, Daniel Jones gets hurt during garbage time. So, like you said, will Daniel Jones play or not? I mean, whether it's Daniel Jones or Tyrod Taylor, you're probably looking at a desperation play at quarterback. I guess Jones has that garbage time upside, and Tyrod facing his old team. I don't know. Saquon Barkley's back. Maybe it's a night game. I think we're going to have some clarity on this. And obviously, if he's active, he's going to be in your lineup. Maybe it's a Darren Waller game. A lot of worries if he missed practice on Wednesday, groin. He said, no, it's a rest day. I'm okay. So maybe Darren Waller is the guy you can play here. Buffalo, certainly smarting after going across the Atlantic Ocean and losing pretty decisively to Jacksonville. So this will get that bad taste out of your mouth. It's not just the English food.
Yeah, well, and how do they do it? I mean, are they going to drop 35? Now, how they could do it if guys were healthy and go through the injury report. And of course, our free daily newswire, footballguys.com, because I believe I was writing about Dalton Kincaid yesterday. And I'm like, we just talked about Sam Laporta and all the excitement we have around Sam Laporta. Buffalo, you could do that too. I'm going to go do it. Like, you could have that as well if you only used him. But hey, Gabe Davis, everybody. Okay, fine. All right. Is Buffalo going to click? Now, this game, they're going to, kick ass on the wild side, whatever. But like, if they started using James Cook correctly, watch out. If they started using Dalton Kincaid and he was healthy correctly, watch out. With Stephon Diggs, with Gabe Davis, with Josh Allen, like, watch out.
Yeah.
But it just seems incomplete. So whether Jacksonville stomps them across the sea or they're at home and they win super big against like, it's still incomplete. Like,
Right.
we haven't seen, and this is good for them, right? Because, you don't want to just start the season super hot and then fade. But, like, when are they going to click? We're kind of waiting. Maybe it looks like it this week because their opponent. I don't know, Bloom.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Look, either way, you lose to Jacksonville like that, you've got questions, but no questions about Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, 4 straight games with a touchdown, and Cook. James Cook this has to be a James Cook game, right? Has to be. I guess you have Damian Harris and Latavius Murray as true deep what the heck flexes with their chances to score a rushing touchdown, maybe more than one. Tight ends are hurting. I think a wrist for Knox, concussion for Kincaid. I believe they both got in limited practices. Slot receivers. And again, this has worked out the way that we expected. Trent Sherfield, Deontay Hardy, Khalil Shakir, they're all playing and they're all contributing, but because they're splitting that role 3 ways, if both tight ends were out, which I don't know if that's what's going to happen, you can't even pick a slot receiver. It's probably just going to be concentrated on Diggs and Davis anyway. And it's Sunday night and there's a lot of nice things to do. Spend some time with your family, call up one of your old friends, hang out, get do your laundry,
play puff pass kick.
Yeah, everyone's favorite game. Let's get that endorsement. So that's rough. This game, not one we're looking forward to. Monday night, on the other hand, pretty good.
Monday night has a bunch of narrative, Street Bloom, so I know you love it because narrative belongs in fantasy football conversations, and it's Dallas and the Chargers. And on the Dallas side is like, really? You gonna look like that?
Yep.
Really? Okay. Prime time, everybody's gonna be watching. So when you've had humble pie, why am I thinking of Sean Payton? Not today, Satan. Well, actually tonight, Thursday, they'll play. Anyway, Dallas side, when you get humbled, are you going to stay humble? Are you going to fight back? Are you going to show some wherewithal?
Yep.
Against the Chargers, it's going to be interesting to find out.
Oh, so interesting. So very interesting. Because how does this team respond to Mike McCarthy? Now, maybe they'd respond to Dan Quinn, but this is a gut check game after being humiliated. And they also are missing, yes, here's something that we didn't expect to say. They're missing Ezekiel Elliott. The Dallas Cowboys miss Ezekiel Elliott. The reason I'm saying this is because their red zone offense has been terrible. They need something. They need to find something that's going to work in the red zone. You're still going to play Tony Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, but we're waiting for something from these guys. Again, is it Jerry Jones trying to make sure he doesn't have to pay CeeDee Lamb a big extension and just franchise him with his numbers? Tony Pollard, is it the offense? Are they missing Kellen Moore? There's narrative street for you. Is it too much work? Maybe he really should have stayed a 15-touch guy, missing Ezekiel Elliott. We'll see. If it's the secondary options, Jake Ferguson, again, throw the tight ends and running backs. Michael Gallup falling off a little bit, but this could turn into a shootout. This could turn into a high-scoring game if the Chargers are up to it against, again, a humiliated Dallas defense, a Dallas defense that we thought of as one of the elite defenses in the league. Yes, they lost Trevon Diggs, but against the 49ers, they were practically non-existent.
Chargers side of things, the return of Austin Eckler. Feel pretty confident about that. So
99%.
Everyone's starting him, right? No question. RB1, number 1 running back this week, whatever. Bloom, I'm more interested in, because we already know what he's going to do, right? I'm more interested in the influence on the rest of the offense.
Right.
Because again, this is the declaration of influence. This game is all about influence. So with Eckler back, do the Chargers look normal again?
And normal, and we hope normal is a highly productive offense. And we can look at this as the mirror image of Justin Jefferson going out for Minnesota. How does that affect the whole offense? Not just who gets more targets or production, how do they distribute the ball, but does it open things up for everybody? In Minnesota's case, shut things down for everybody. So yeah, this could be a better offense. This team's coming out of a bye, so you got 2 weeks to prepare for this game, and it's a Monday night game. There are going to be a lot of Dallas Cowboys fans there. You want to make them silent, right? How do you do that? A lot of Justin Herbert to Keenan Allen. Whew. Don't be surprised if we see another 11, 12, 13 catch game here. Josh Palmer downfield, still just a what the heck flex. Quentin Johnston. So here's something to watch. We talked about this on the waiver wire show, Cease. How are they going to use Quentin Johnston? Because Matt Waldman, RSP, make sure you're getting it, highlighted, hey, this Quentin Johnston, even though he's big and he can jump out of the gym, he's fast, really is a guy that is more of a run after catch threat than somebody who wins big on contested catches and wins big downfield. Now they're saying, well, at least before the bye, we might have to use him in ways that we don't think he's quite ready for. So do they have a better plan for him? That's something to watch. Gerald Everett, looks like Donald Parham is healthy enough to play with his wrist injury. And for the Chargers, they weren't humiliated, but they're still charging. They're still disappointing. They're still finding inexplicable ways to lose games. They did find an inexplicable way to win a game. And this is Sigmund throwing it back to Cecil as we go third person.
Yeah, Andrew caught that.
Yeah,
in the report. Yeah,
our own Sigmund Bloom reported.
Our very own Matt Waldman says Chris Brooks. Everybody, like, that's right. That's it. So Andrew, always appreciate you, brother. I need more trucker hats, like Andrew. So again, Bloom, you need to put a PO box
right
in New Orleans so people can send you bucket hats. And if y'all want to send me, trucker hats, it's all good.
So you got to watch it. We could be trucker in the bucket, but that's easy to, if you say it too fast, to get that, FCC is not going to like that.
Oh, that's for Sorry Joe Plus. How about you need what the heck flex? You're looking over your lineup and you just need some punch. For the love of God, please, can I get some punch on my team? What the heck flex this week for you? Line them up. Now, I always do, and maybe I should have already said this like 18 years ago, Bloom, but like, when did we start what the heck flex? But anyway, like, I always think PPR.
Yeah.
That's, it's now the majority, I believe, of the standard. So. But like, okay, so pass catchers are always going to be a little bit more interesting for me. I mentioned my love, Keontae Ingram. Yeah, he's just a what the heck flex because I'm just like, I don't know. It's a neck injury. It's 2 weeks. Like, all right. So I love Keontae Ingram. Don't get carried away. Return of Austin Eckler. Yeah, Joshua Kelly. Now, what the heck flex? Zach Charbonnet, what the heck flex? Clyde Edwards-Helaire against the Broncos on Thursday night. We're recording Thursday morning. So, yeah, that could work out really well for your fantasy football teams. That takes care of the running back position. At wide receiver, I look over the what the heck flex ranks, and I go, all right, let's see this. I love Michael Wilson, stuck on Arizona. Zay Jones, if he plays, always seems to be the key for their passing game. And from a fantasy perspective, yeah, it might be 3 for 23 and a touchdown. Again, I think that was the stat line last week. I might have got that on the money. Anyway, you'll be on the money if you're looking for like a Josh Palmer on Monday night. We just talked about it as a what the heck flex. So you've got some ideas. You want them to play out this week, Bloom, in week 6. Who are some of your what the heck flexes?
When you said Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I just think the janitor, right? Like whoever the Broncos are playing, who's the janitor? When they say clean up on aisle 5, who gets that call? Because that's what happens with the Broncos. Clean up on Thursday Night Football. Running backs. Let's watch Jeff Wilson if he's active. If not, Salvon Ahmed. There's your janitor, your backup running back, number 2 running back. You mentioned Keontae Ingram, Amari DiMercato. Let's watch the practice reports. They're going to get some touches. You're looking for that. Chuba Hubbard could get some touches. Again, maybe garbage time touchdown. Miles Sanders has a shoulder now in addition to the groin issue. Tyler Algier. If Atlanta can build a lead against Washington the same way Chicago did, it could be a Tyler Algier game. Speaking of Chicago, Dante Foreman, Rashawn Johnson, I believe, not practicing to start the week. Again, this is a Chicago team going up against the Minnesota team. I think Chicago can absolutely choose a streak, Cease. They can get a streak going. Wide receiver, Roshy Rice. This is the week, Cease. This is the week. He's not the janitor. He's like the special at the front of the store, like 2 touchdowns. What do we know about the Broncos? Poor tackling. I mean, maybe even Kadarius Toney, right? It's your run after catch threats. Let's watch Mike Evans if he's not going to play Devin Tompkins. Trey Palmer. Palmer only takes one with his speed. Devin Tompkins actually was pretty good after Evans went out before the bye. Josh Downs. Know that Gardner Minshew is going to be looking for him a lot. Nelson Aguilar. We're back to Nelson Aguilar. He was productive last week, even with Rashad Bateman and Odell Beckham playing, and he was on the field more than them. This is also going up against Tennessee, which has a poor secondary, and KJ Osborne going right into that Justin Jefferson role. We'll see if he can produce even remotely like Justin Jefferson. You would take half, Eddie, if you could. You'd be very happy with that, with Osborne in your lineup.
I'm happy with y'all here in the chat room. I said it to begin the show, like, you guys are the reasons I get out of bed. Yeah, because
Really?
it's football season, and usually no one feel bad for me, but usually I go to bed about 2 or 3. Boom, got a lot of productive stuff done last night with the comic book, so I'm super, super happy about that. Super happy to see. Anytime I tell my guy at Avante Press, shout out, unpaid endorsement, but I tell Bob, he's an old hippie. So I showed up yesterday.
Is there any other kind of hippie? You ever hear about young hippies?
Well, we're kind of young hippies, right? I guess. I don't know. So I show up, I got my long hair, and he's like, I didn't recognize you. And I was like, Bob, I said, I always tell my brother Sigmund, I was like, you hippies had it right. Yeah. And he was like, about what? And I go, pretty much everything. Yeah. So we're sitting there talking about comics, and he's an old comics head, and it's just like, man alive, good day yesterday, full day yesterday, but it's the energy here, Bloom, as I stumble across my words thinking about comic books now. Like, it's the energy. Like, you can get fantasy football talk anywhere. You come to the Audible for the attitude and the atmosphere, and it's that helps out Only Jock in the Village when he's feeling down, right? And like, we're here for that. You guys make us happy, and it's that collective consciousness I always talk about, like,
right,
when you're around someone that makes you feel good, right? It's that vibration, it's that energy. Like, you in the chat room, you guys all make us feel like that, right?
Yeah,
and
right.
I'm glad that we can return that to you, because that's a good feeling. Some of y'all sitting in meetings, you don't want to pay attention. And why is it? Oh boy, this is like a separate show, Bloom. Why is it in corporate America that everything has to be a flipping meeting now? You know what I mean?
I call it productivity theater.
Productivity theater. Like, we're doing something, everybody. Yeah. And now, like, the simplest stuff, oh boy, I could get really specific, but I don't want to make anybody upset. Like, the simplest stuff that you do, maybe in a radio station or digital production, I'm not saying it takes like 3 emails and a phone call,
right,
for you to just like change a light or something. Like, did you get the memo? Everything, like, it's all TPS reports now.
Yeah.
So
how many mid-level managers does it take to change a light bulb? Hold on, we need to have a meeting to figure that out.
Right. We'll be back after another meeting. So, like, I get it when you're sitting in meetings or whatever, like sitting in traffic, wherever you're listening to the show. Boom, I just appreciate our people because they make us feel good, and I'm glad we can return the favor.
Yeah, I agree with that, Cecil. I really feel like, and what I want to echo since you're talking about this is just that our chat room, our community, y'all do something that's even more important for us than giving us the opportunity to have a job that is something we like to do and would do anyway. It's that we feel accepted and loved. We feel loved. I mean, our chat room sees when we show up for the show every day, almost every day, and our people are showing up, and not just showing up, but enjoying each other, enjoying interacting with each other, noticing things that we're doing so that we feel seen and heard. Isn't that what everybody wants? Just to feel seen and heard. I've made this speech before, but I want to say it again, that y'all give us such a great gift by allowing us to feel embraced, loved, accepted, just as the people that we are, with the hair that we have as old hippies. And I hope, I pray, I wish that all of you have something like that in your life. And I hope we can at least drop a little drop of that, with knowing that what makes it easy to get to do this show and to bring the energy and to bring our authentic selves. Not that we know how to do anything else. It's not like we're doing some grand strategy. We're going to be our authentic selves. That's our strategy. We don't know how to be anybody else. I can't even fake it anyway. Why would I try? And that's a beautiful thing. And I think being part of this community, I hope that we can provide some of that, and otherwise people can feel, comfortable in your own skin And we've been talking about this before recently, Cecil. Like, if you're weird, let your freak flag fly. Let it be weird. That's in some ways what our little brand here stands for. We're going to be ourselves. And it's something, like I've said earlier this year too, this is special. Anytime we can get together and have a positive space, and like you said, Cecil, leave in a little better mood than we showed up, a good thing happened.
Yeah, good things abound. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you never miss a vid, and we appreciate you all. Thank you. He's Sigmund Bloom. Follow him at Sigmund Bloom. The show is at the Audible. Nice smile. Was that your class picture smile?
Yeah, right. That's the $1 million. That's the headshot smile.
I don't know if it'll show up on my phone, but I should show you my new driver's license photo.
Ooh.
Anyway, they don't let you smile with your teeth in Colorado. So
what?
Yeah, they're like, you can smile, but make sure you keep your mouth closed. Chew with your mouth closed. Like, what? Sorry. Anyway, the
if
show
you have
is
a little tattoo in your lower lip, can you do that? Can you show the lower lip tattoo?
Right. I don't know. We'll see. It is the Audible. I'm at Cecil Lammey saying thanks, everybody. Stay tuned, and would you please, as always, stay frosty.
You got a team, here's a word